My name is Maria Hadjiana. I'm 16 years old and I'm a student at the Acropolis Lyceum. Herbs have been a part of my everyday life for as long as I can remember. I have very vivid memories as a child of my grandmother making me a hot cup of herbal tea with either the basil or the mint that she had personally grown and then dried to soothe my stomach pain. In Cyprus and in many other countries in the world, herbs have been a part of everyday life for approximately 60,000 years, and they still manage to be popular in the modern day because of the wide variety of benefits that they have to offer. Since our lives are getting more and more complicated and more technologically oriented, we need to promote organic herbs to help make people's lives healthier. Participating in this Erasmus program has made us very aware of how important it is to preserve our local and tangible cultural heritage. And in creating our business, our vision and goal is to arouse our fellow students' interest in our cultural heritage and how important it is to preserve it, as a lot of the information that is related to herbs is being passed down from generation to generation by word of mouth. In order for a business to succeed, we knew that we needed to adopt a modern and technological approach, so we decided to create an e-shop. But why are herbs so useful to a person of the 21st century? Today, people from all around the globe use herbs. Around 35% of the population of the entire world uses herbal medicine in one way or another. Fortunately, due to Cyprus's location, geology, and climate, there is an abundance of different types of herbs that are being cultivated on the island. Herbs can be used as a food additive for flavoring, garnishing, or coloring, or as a preservative that kills harmful bacteria or prevents their growth. They can also be used for medicinal purposes, in the making of fragrances, or in the making of herbal tea, which is made by adding herbs to boiling water. Some of the most commonly known medicinal herbs are basil, elderberry, lavender, chamomile, aloe vera, and many more. Something that we wanted to emphasize in our business is that there's a plethora of benefits to drinking herbal tea. The main reason why it's been so successful is the growing demand for healthy beverages by more health-conscious consumers. Herbs are especially very popular among Cypriots, and they're considered traditional products. Herbs like the elderberry flower are used in every eye infection or pain, while herbs like Cyprus's oregano, which can be found in every grocery store, is used in many traditional dishes. Herbs like hibiscus have a high concentration of antioxidants and can help with lowering blood pressure, reducing blood sugar levels, and fighting bacteria, while herbs like chamomile help with sleep deprivation, menstrual pain, and inflammation, and studies show that they can help alleviate stress and anxiety. Some studies even suggest that chamomile tea may have the ability to target cancer cells or prevent them from developing in the first place. In Cyprus, there are more than 600 different types of herbs, and locals here make great use of them, whether that's by drinking a hot cup of herbal tea every night or by using them to spice up their foods. I personally learned how to use spices from my grandmother, who learned from hers, and so on and so on. So as you can see, herbal remedies and recipes have been passed down from generation to generation. All in all, since herbs are so beneficial to our well-being, I believe that each one of us should try using them. And once you do, I'm sure you'll be surprised at how useful they are to your mental and physical health. When discussing with our team what we wanted to achieve in our startup business, we concluded that the following parameters were fundamental for its success. First, we set up an e-shop in order to promote our products and make them readily accessible, especially to students that frequently use the internet for online shopping. We decided on the name Cyprus Bio Herbs for our business. In our e-shop, you can find information about all of our local herbs and their health benefits, and how to use them in teas, other beverages, or in various dishes. You can find our top quality natural beauty products and order them there online. The cultivation of the herbs in an unused area of our own schoolyard ensures the quality of our products and subsequently the satisfaction of our clients. At this point, we would like to express our gratitude to everyone who contributed and assisted us in the field of cultivating herbs with their expertise. They provided us with a lot of useful information and tips, and they were always willing to answer any of our questions. We strongly believe that it's important to involve as many subject areas as possible, thus involving more students and generating more interest and enthusiasm, and by extension making it a more collective effort. For example, in biology class, we will learn how to cultivate herbs and their health benefits. In chemistry class, we can learn how to make beauty products using herbs. In the art department, the students designed the labels that are on the packages. In the design and technology class, the students packaged the products on the production line. In the IT class, our classmates designed the e-shop, and the students in the economics class helped manage and run it. Our first event was to organize a market in order to promote our products and sell them to our fellow students. We firstly offered the students tea and homemade bread that we had personally prepared, and so they then purchased some of our products. Our next step was to promote our products to the local community by organizing a market outside of our local church where we advertised and sold our goods to locals. In our business, we can proudly state that we are promoting products that are of excellent quality, which is of vital importance in today's consumer-oriented society. Another positive aspect is that we offer competitive prices, thus making our products very attractive to the customer. There were, of course, some difficulties that we faced, just as all businesses do. The lack of financial support meant that we were not able to develop our company as quickly as we hoped, but on the other hand, we were extremely satisfied to see the interest demonstrated by our fellow students in preserving our ICH. Most of them were able to make a personal connection or had memories of their own families using herbs. Another difficulty we faced was not having any permanent members of staff to consistently observe the progress of the production and be ready and alert to implement any changes that may be seen as necessary. To help us overcome these difficulties, we approached other small local businesses and offered to sell their products at school, in the community, and in our e-shop. We think that this will have a very positive impact on our business. We believe that the opportunities far outweigh any negative aspects. It was really a unique opportunity to learn and become more aware of our own intangible cultural heritage, and on the other hand, appreciate how a business operates and what elements are vital to ensure its success. We think that another key factor to ensuring that any business is successful is the harmonious cooperation of all its members or staff, and I can safely say that we all greatly enjoyed and benefited from being a part of this team. Social media is another key element to ensuring that our business is successful, and its influence must not be underestimated. Nowadays, it is by far the most powerful means of promoting our products. We believe that with the help of our IT specialist, it will undoubtedly contribute to the success of our business. One aspect that we need to focus on is how to make our products more accessible, whether it be by optimizing our e-shop or by developing an app that will be more consumer-friendly and easy to use. Two other points which we should take into account are firstly that there is competition in the market that we should be aware of, and secondly that the weather conditions can greatly affect the production of our products. And so we need to have an action plan in case of any dire weather conditions. To conclude, I would just like to say that this has been an enriching experience for us. We now know a lot more about our cultural heritage and how important it is to safeguard it for future generations. We feel that we have strengthened the link between the past, the present, and the future. And lastly, we're glad to say that we managed to motivate our peers and involve as many of them as possible in this wonderful cultural journey that we have all taken together. Thank you for listening.
Culture and traditions that have been celebrated for years and years and still are being celebrated. Here are our instructions on how to use the map both on iOS and Android platforms. If you'd like to use the map on an iOS platform, you go to settings and scroll to control center. From there, you add your QR code reader to your control center, and then you swipe up and click on the QR code reader. You scan the certain code of the illustration you'd like to, and then you can access the information about it. If you'd like to use it on an Android platform, you go to an app store where you download your apps from. It doesn't matter if it's Google Play Store, it can be anything. From there you download a QR code reader, and then you scan the QR code of the image you'd like to see the information about, and then from there you can access the information. The unique information about the monuments and the QR codes were made by two of our wonderful teachers, Dr. Elena Sianova and Mrs. Annette Kuna. In every track you can stumble across different content about this variety of monuments and the places you have to see at least once. I think this idea was executed extremely well, and it was creative as well. Thank you for stopping by, and we'd like to see you one more time.
Okay, that's all from Bulgaria. Thank you.
Maria, can I speak? Yes, Sophia. Hi. Yes, you can.
Hi, hello.
You can present also.
Yes, thanks. We are the second team of the third high school of Levantia, and I want to invite my students, Nicoletta, Fotini, and Kostis, to present their business idea. Nicoletta, Fotini, and Kostis, where are you? Guys? Okay, your turn.
Hello, I'm Nicoletta, and I'm glad to be here today. I hope you like our presentation.
Hello to everyone, I'm Fatimi.
And I am Kostis.
We represent our classmates for the third high school of Livadia, and we will present you our plans for the creation of an application for mobile phones.
Our application combines our intangible cultural heritage, in particular the customs of the Greek traditional wedding, with modern technology.
Its goal is to support the development of alternative tourism in the region of Viotia.
We choose to name our application with the Latin term "antimonio" for two reasons: because it is an auspicious term, and because the Latin word refers to the past, to the traditional of many European languages.
The motto of our team is, we look back, we learn our tradition to move steadily to the future. Thank you for your attention.
Wait. Wait a minute. Can you see the presentation?
No, not yet. We cannot see it.
You can't see it? Okay.
No. We can
Wait.
see your screen, but we can't see the presentation.
I can't open the audio.
Sophia, when you start sharing your screen, you can see above the desktop include computer sound, and then you move the.
I see the shot, but I can't open it.
Why?
No. Wait, to stop the.
Do it again.
Yes.
Stop sharing and do it again.
No. I can't open it. Wait. Can you see it now?
Not yet, no.
Not yet. I don't know what can I do.
Share your screen with us. Try to share again. Now we can see it. Now
you
we
can see it? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Use full screen when you can.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's okay with the sound?
No, no, the sound is not okay.
No.
Mm.
You have to go back before you share the screen to press on the include computer sound.
Wait. I can't open the sound.
Sophia, may I help?
Αν μπορείς.
Try again and then. It's okay now?
No, I think no.
Sophia,
Here,
Now it's
okay.
Now
it's okay.
Yes.
Do you hear the sound?
No.
No.
Σοφία, όπως το WebEx κάνουμε διαμοίραση για βίντεο.
Ναι, το δοκίμασα, Βιβί, αλλά δεν μου βγάζει να πατήσω το...
Είναι κάτω αριστερά, πριν κάνει
ναι,
διαμοίραση.
το βρήκα κάτω αριστερά, αλλά δεν μου το έχει ενεργό, δεν ξέρω γιατί.
Πατάς και δεν ενεργοποιείται, βάζει...
Πατάω και δεν ενεργοποιείται, ναι. Για να ξαναδοκιμάσω πριν κάνω τη...
πριν κάνεις τη διαμοίραση,
πριν κάνω τη διαμοίραση, κάτω αριστερά.
Ναι.
Μισό. Βίκη, δεν μου το βγάζει. Μήπως μπορείς να κάνεις εσύ την παρουσίαση, για να μην καθυστερούμε. Το έχεις νομίζω το βίντεο, έτσι.
Νομίζω να το δούμε, ναι.
Γιατί εγώ δεν μπορώ. Για κάποιο λόγο αυτό δεν είναι ενεργό το κουμπάκι αυτό.
Τώρα, ακούγεται τώρα.
Οκ. Τώρα.
Σοφία, το δείχνω εγώ.
Α, εντάξει.
Do you need any help, Sophia?
I think that Vicky το δείχνεις.
Δεν προβάλλεται.
Όχι.
Και εγώ νόμιζα ότι το προβάλλεις εσύ. Να δοκιμάσω. Wait. Try again.
Ναι.
Για να δοκιμάσω πάλι. Μισό λεπτάκι. Do you see it?
Yes, now we can see it.
The sound is okay?
I don't think.
The sound is okay?
No, it's not. But maybe we can see it without any sound, yes? At the end of the day.
Wait, I don't know what I can do. The sound is... wait. I can't do something for the audio. Βίκη, μπορείς να το δείξεις εσύ, να σε κάνει, να σε κάνει εσένα.
Ναι, να το δοκιμάσω πάλι.
Πες να σε κάνει όμως, έχεις εμένα την παρουσίαση.
Μας έχει όλους μάλλον.
Θέλετε να το αλλάξουμε.
Αν μπορείς να κάνεις τη Βίκη Μαρία presenter, γιατί εγώ για κάποιο λόγο δεν μου βγάζει τις ρυθμίσεις.
Να το αλλάξουμε.
Οκ.
Ωραία, ευχαριστούμε.
Vicky is a presenter.
Ναι, αυτό βλέπω κι εγώ. Για πάμε. Ρεβέκα, ακούτε?
Ναι, Βίκη, ακούτε.
Ναι, το ήχος καλός και εικόνα.
Ωραία.
Hello. Marriage is an important moment in people's life, and that's why many people want to live it in a unique and special way. But nowadays, most people are carried away by commercialization and globalization and spend time and money to do things without substance and purpose. During the Erasmus program, talking with our grandmothers, we found that in traditional weddings, people often not have money, but money to make their wedding moment beautiful, special, and at the same time to keep men symbolized. In fact, these moments were enjoyed by the newlyweds, their relatives, and friends. This realization gave birth to our desire to do something that will give new life to the traditional wedding. So, after discussions, the group decided to make an application for mobile phones where the cultural wealth and the wedding customs of our country can be displayed, and young couples will find small churches for a traditional wedding. The application will have the map of Central Greece, and by clicking on it, information about the traditional wedding can be displayed. We will also install small historic churches in the map. We will inform where they are. We will have information about their history and what are the appropriate dates for weddings in these churches. In addition, we will help organize the wedding. 1. Through the application, couples will be able to choose places to house the reception after the wedding, so we can have partnerships and sponsorships with various stores of this kind. 2. We will help in the selection and preparation of traditional dishes for the reception. And 3. We will suggest a list of traditional songs for the wedding.
Βίκη, χάθηκε η φωνή.
It is a proposal that unites the Greek tradition, the tourist development of our region, and the modern technology. It makes it known to younger generation and preserves the Greek tradition, meets existing needs of people. It gives life to the Greek countryside and contributes to the military development of our region. Before we are led to our proposal, we did researches and measurements of public opinion and data analysis. We did SWOT analysis, strength, innovative idea, no competitive information on alternative tourism, opportunities, a rich tourism place close to Athens, interested customers, shops, travel interest among young people, weaknesses, financing without know-how, user-friendly, treats, idea easy to use.
From investigation, we found that our customers can come from different groups. First, young Greeks who want to organize their wedding. Secondly, people from abroad who love Greece tradition and organize their wedding here. Thirdly, businesses, shops, or individuals who are active in Greece and want to organize weddings. And finally, hotel unit. Our income will come mainly from campaigns that are active in organizing weddings and would like to be featured by our application. There could also be a small financial support from the municipalities, since the application helps in the development of the place. For the promotion of the company, we'll use all the media, as example, newspaper, television, or radio, but mostly the latest internet and social media. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you. Sorry for the problems.
It's okay. It happens. Gitana, what about your speakers?
Yeah, Marija is here. Daivutė vėliau truputėlį čia tokai bus gerai. Yeah, Marija Vorobjovaitė is our guest speaker today. Daivutė vaizdą pasislėpk, Daivutė, nes pusė ekrano tavęs matosi. Aha, gerai.
Maria is a presenter.
So this is our guest, and she will speak about branding. Okay, can you, Maria?
Yes. Welcome, Maria. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so hi everyone. I will try to share my slides with you. So once again, thank you for the opportunity to join this project. I'm really keen to share my knowledge about marketing itself and about branding, since I heard that you got some branding and marketing and business development exercises for tomorrow and for your workshop. So I hope this kind of knowledge shared by me would be useful for you in your workshop assignment. So to start with, I just would like shortly to represent myself. So as you know, my name is Maria. Basically, during office hours, I am marketeer, and I work with different kind of projects. At this moment, I work in a manufacturing company for baby strollers. What is more, I have a huge passion for education and non-formal education specific. So I have this kind of project called Leaders Incubator, and work there as a lecturer, mentor, and also organizer. But today our topic is basically how to create remarkable brand, and specific how to create a remarkable brand for start. But to start with, I would like also to share my kind of experience, how I enjoy doing marketing, because I deal with marketing every single day. And of course, during those years, I made so many exciting projects that it was huge success or sometimes huge failure. But all the experience left a huge impact on my knowledge on this topic. So one of the projects, as I said, that I work in a strollers manufacturing company. So every day we build new strollers for future moms, dads, and we had a huge challenge to present a new premium brand to our region, basically in our home market, Lithuania. And those to present premium brand, then you have like all your products was mainstream before. It's kind of huge challenge that you have to come up with. So our kind of project was somehow to create a better reputation in customers' minds and eyes. So what we did,
we did collaboration with famous designer in Lithuania, and we presented a stroller as a accessory, not just a transport, but also the thing that you can buy and look more beautiful next to it. So the first time in Lithuania, the pram and the stroller was riding and strolling through the catwalk. So this kind of project gave us very huge and very good results on the communication, on the brand identity and awareness. Many people was excited about the collection. Media was also excited to share this kind of message and to discuss it in new portals and magazines. So by sharing this story, I just want you to embrace, to be creative, and to skip the standard thinking on building your brand. Sometimes you have to be very innovative in order to make a difference in the market. So here's a short story from my side. But today, as I said, we are talking about branding and specific for startups. But to start with, I really would like to mark the differences between startup and small business. And to start here, I really would like to hear at least one or two people and their opinion, what the main difference between these kind of two ventures. So please, if you know the answer or if you would like to share your opinion, turn on the microphone and share what the main difference between startup and small businesses.
Hello, can you hear me?
So, someone does have an answer?
Can you hear me?
Oh, the sound is very bad. Maybe someone else?
As far as I'm concerned, the small business, you can get money from it, but startup is just an idea and it's not a business.
A good point. Of course, I could say that also you can get money from startup, but the funding quite different because usually for small business you get money from bank, you get money from your friends, family, and you invest and start creating like business. You don't need a lot of investments usually in small business. Startups, what's the difference? Innovative, something that you didn't have some in the market yet. So banks usually it's very hard to motivate banks to fund you. So this is why startups usually look for funding from investors or angels or some IPOs or another ventures or projects and so on. Because for startups, usually there need a huge investments to create something new. You need a lot of investment in technology, development, and so on. So let's go to the slide where I'm going to show the main differences between startup and small business. So basically, startup, the main difference is about the risk. Startup have huge risk since you didn't had experience in the market yet, so you never know if it's gonna work or no. Of course, you can make a lot of huge homework and analyze environment so on, but still there's a huge risk. And for a small business, usually, well, it's much lower risk, since usually you already have something similar to your business idea in the market. You can see how it's going, and you need to just be something a little bit different or better in order to win customers and to like engage them in your products. Basically, business goal also are quite different. Startups usually expecting for high growth, and they really would like to work in not just in one market but in worldwide markets. But one small business, even the name tells you that you are creating by going by baby steps, starting from one city, one region, working locally, and so on and so on, and by seeing how people react to your product or service, you just grow stably and by small steps. About organization structure, so startups can be various from one people or like flat structure or very strict structure, depending how you imagine your startup. And for small business, well, there are usually some guidelines that business use, so it's basically you always would be structure and stable group of employees. About the funding, I already mentioned that startups often seek large-scale funding from venture capitals and investors. Well, a small business are all usually self-funded, because usually you even don't need so much money to start a small business. Well, for startup, product or service would be usually unknown, something new in the market. And for small business, often known. And also about the startups, the hardest thing that usually when you're creating something new, it's very hard to describe your customer. So you need to invest much more effort to analyze and see who will buy your product. And a small business, of course, is much, much easier. So here's another question, and please share your knowledge. What is brand? How you can describe it? In 1, 2 words. What kind of associations comes up in your mind when you think about the brand?
The name of some product.
Yeah. What else?
When we make a statement in the market, maybe.
Statement, yes.
A symbol, mark, or logo.
Yeah. Some visualization also. Good points. Very thank you for sharing your knowledge. As I see, you have knowledge about the branding. So brand could be name, term, design, symbol, or any other feature that identifies one seller good or service as distinct from those that are already in the market. So here's like short, very cold kind of description, but I also would like to share some different kind of views. So basically the main idea is that brand is not a product. The brand is basically a person gut feeling about a product or company. So the idea in simple words, you have to think about different kind of brands, for example, Coca-Cola, Apple, Nike, or something, and feel what you think and what you feel about the brand, about that product. That feeling is the brand, the emotion that are in our minds. So the brand, in other words, brand is a space your company occupies in someone's mind. And even the best kind of quote that I really enjoy about branding sounds like this. Brand is what people say about you after you have left the room. So it's not just about you, it's also about your product. So not what you state, but what people think about you. And to create that space in people's mind is very hard work and usually long-term goal in order to reach this kind of goal. But in order to understand what is brand and what you need to think when you are creating a brand, I really like this kind of brand pyramid, which in simple words says everything that you have to think about and the questions that you have to answer. So to start from the top, first of all, you have to think and answer a question. What is the main idea or reason for being of this brand? What kind of goal and vision you are trying to implement in people's mind? Emotional benefit stands for this kind of question. What kind of emotional benefit does the product service provide? So what kind of emotion you get when you think about the brand? For example, when I think about Coca-Cola, I think about good kind of positive vibes with friends and family gatherings and so on. When I think, I don't know, another Turkish Airlines, for example, I think about comfort, about safety, about good food and kind of really calm emotion, and even some premium vibes and luxury vibes. So different brands creates different emotions, and you have to understand what kind of emotion you want to give for a person and for your customer. Third, logical benefits. So what are the benefits delivered from using the product or service? So here's those easy way. Of course, when you are thirsty, you drink Coca-Cola. So this is logical benefit. Then you want to go for vacation, you fly usually with Turkish Airlines if you would like to have comfort flight. Functional benefits stands for what are the key benefits I get from this functionality. So basically very in more detail, yes. So if you are thirsty and you drink Coca-Cola, you feel not just good, but also you will have good taste of drink. Also, sometimes people say that it's good to drink Coca-Cola with with junk food, because it helps you to maintain all the food in your stomach and more easily, and so on. So all the functional benefits that you get from using the products. And the last, features. What are the main features of a product or services? So here's what you do and what kind of things you provide for customer in order to show those benefits. So also, for example, Coca-Cola gives not just tasty, a drink, but also some zero sugar options and so on. Also, quite they very care about distribution, so you can easily buy Coca-Cola in every shop, and so on and so on. So when we are thinking about examples, so I picked Apple as a great example to once again to analyze this brand pyramid, and here's how they provide information and emotions and idea about their brand. So to start with, their brand essence is think different. So this kind of slogan, they show that we are looking for kind of different solutions for the customers, to find better, easier technical solutions for everyday life. Emotional benefits, well, they provide them and they show themselves as kind of rebellious and artistic. This kind of brand are much different from others with their messages, the way they show them, as because they are who creates always usually first in the marketing some new innovations. So this is why they call this themselves as rebellious. Logical benefits, well, it looks attractive, fast, elegant, easy to use. Functional benefits, sleek design, fast processors, and so on. And features, well, of course, advanced OS that you can find inside your phone or laptop and so on. And to talk more about the brand itself, I would like to present to you the stages of brand development. So basically, if you will think sometimes, someday, or even today, what you need to do before creating a logo, before creating a slogan and so on, you need to remember those main 6 stages that are crucial for every brand development process. And to start with, everything starts not from the brand name or logo. Everything starts from analysis. You have to analyze product, target audience. You have to set your positioning, unique value proposition, and then you can create brand name, and finally visualization. So right now we are going through all the steps, and I will show you some key features and some key tips that could be useful for you in this kind of a project or in future business development projects that you're going to participate or invent yourself. So no matter what you are inventing, or this is kind of new light bulb or kind of new app or website or any other kind of innovation, you have to understand and answer a question: what kind of customer problem does it solve? So basically, when you are selling a product, it's not about the product, it's about the problem that you're solving there. So even light bulb can solve very crucial problem, the lightness problems, of course, because when people don't have light, what does it mean? It means that you can't do anything what you used to do in your normal daily life without the light. So here's a crucial kind of problem that light bulbs solves. Another, what value does it provide? And how is the product different from competitors? So basically, if you have a competitors, even you are offering new solution for lights or I don't know, another kind of subject, you have to understand why it is better and how to communicate it easily for customers, why it is better. And even light bulb can be, for example, more eco-friendly or more long-lasting, or even the form could be different. The packaging could be more, eco-friendly, or you can use it a second time, or ever kind of find other ideas. So basically, you have to understand what kind of values you will give for product. And why branding starts from analysis? Well, marketing itself is not just, marketing goal is not just to create commercial and logo, name, and that's it. Marketing is also a business development activity, because you can somehow change product according to the needs of a market. And basically, the marketing people are those who understand the market in most best way, because their work is to communicate with customers and with people. So don't forget that marketing is not just about commercials, but also about creating better version of your product. Second point is about the target audience. And here's a huge kind of challenge. Yes, of course, if you're creating something for people that you already understand your market, what kind of people would buy your product or use your service, it's very easily. You just need to analyze your competitors. For example, to go to a shop to see how people take products from the shelves. Are they going spontaneously there and just picking whatever brand they like, or they go there, they analyze the price, they analyze the, I don't know, packaging every time, and they choose very, not spontaneous, but in using their minds to make the decision. So even analyzing how they are choosing the product, you can understand how you can like get their attention. Because, for example, then you are creating the product that is like one-time purchase, one-time lifetime purchase. For example, as a stroller or a pram, the people invest a lot of time to do analysis. What does it mean? Because before getting pregnant, people don't know anything about the strollers, and they are very open to find the information online, to ask their friend opinion, to go to a shop, to get consultation. So every person who will buy a stroller usually go through these kind of stages. First of all, they Google recommendations, they Google, kind of top 10 strollers and so on. Second, they ask their friends what they use, what they recommend, and so on. And the last stage, they go to the shop. And usually they even don't go just to a shop for one time. They go for a couple of hours and go for several shops. And they look, they touch, they try to understand how to choose this product. Because when you don't know anything about the product, here's people really invest time to make a decision in good, correct way. So this kind of purchase road or way is very similar to a startup customers, because if you're creating something new, people will not know anything about your product. So they are going to analyze, and will need a lot of information from you for them to understand the need, what we will get from your product, what kind of problem you will solve for them, and why it's better than to buy or to use like older version or other kind of solutions. But if you really would like to understand your audience, I really recommend not just to make an online survey and to send to all your Facebook friends, but to invite different kind of peoples from different kind of cities, different kind of age, gender, and so on, and have interviews, like long couple of hours and 1 hour interviews by asking open questions. For example, how you solve this problem. For example, what kind of products you use to solve these problems. If you will see this kind of packaging for our product, which you prefer and why, how much money would you like to pay for this kind of service, and so on and so on. So basically, people never thought about this kind of questions, but you can try to ask those questions and see their reactions. People sometimes even don't know the answer, but by discussing it, you can understand what they're really thinking, and they would really help you to understand the need and how we will provide, how we would like your product. So the third step would be positioning. This is very crucial stage, especially for startup, because as I said, if you're creating something new, people have to understand in simple words, what is it? So positioning basically helps the buyer understand your benefits and uniqueness. And here's 4 essentials to establishing rock solid brand positioning. For example, first of all, you have to, of course, to start from your audience. You have to understand their main pain points and who are they. Second, your market. What is your market category? How does your brand better relate to your audience in comparison to your competitors? Third, your brand promise. What you promise. Think back to your audience pain points and then ask yourself, how does your brand solve their problem? In the eyes of your audience, what are the greatest benefits of your brand that your brand offers? And last but not least, your evidence. So how you're going to demonstrate that your brand delivers on its promise. And here is the brand positioning formula that would be very useful for any brand that you're going to create. Just to put the main information in this kind of sentence, and you will get the easiest way how you will describe your brand for no matter what, or for investor, or for customer, or for other employees. So first of all, for your audience, your brand is your market that best delivers on your brand promise, because your brand promise and only your brand is your evidence. Sounds a little bit funny, but let's put some example there and see how does it sounds with a real kind of business positioning formula. So here's example for Walt Disney World, as you may know, a very famous theme park. So example, for the young and young at heart, Walt Disney World is a theme park that best delivers on an immersive and magical experience, because Walt Disney World and only Walt Disney World connects you to the character and worlds you most desire. So very beautiful positioning, a formula, and tells you what's the main difference, from the other theme parks that basically they promote those Walt Disney characters, and you will usually more often find them just in Walt Disney World. And here's the 4th step, unique value proposition. So as you have your positioning settings, another step is to understand what kind of value will get your customer, then they will pay your money. The main idea and the main challenge for each marketeer is to show that for the money that a customer is paying, he will get even much more value that he could buy in the market. So unique value proposition, in simple words, is the reason why a brand is chosen by a certain segment of customers. And to find this kind of formula, as you can see in the slide, first of all, you have to to get benefits experienced by buyer, minus price, and you will get the value for buyer. And here's one example for you to easily understand what does it mean in simple words to describe unique value proposition. As I mentioned before, unique value proposition can be different for kind of different client segment. So, for example, McDonald's are likable by many people, and doesn't mean if you are young, old, or you are busy businessman or family and so on. So, for example, for a young family, McDonald's unique proposition would sound like this: entertainment for children by allowing parents to eat comfortably together. And for rushed businessmen, the opportunity to have a snack and drink a coffee without getting out of a car. So different kind of people get different benefits from using the same kind of services. And I will show you some more simple examples of unique value proposition. The main idea is to create a very short message for your customer that they will understand why they need to use your kind of product. So, for example, there are a kind of platform, MailChimp, where you can send email campaigns easily using by their templates. So their unique value proposition sounds like this: send better email, easy and understandable. Second, Bitly, where you can just simply shorten your link and measure how many clicks you got through the campaign, for example. So their unique value proposition sounds like this: shorten, share, measure. Simple, again, 3 words, understandable. Each customer will know from first sight what this page offers. And my most favorite example of unique value proposition sounds like this. Of course, it's from Apple, about MacBook. Light years ahead. Once again, just 3 words, and those 3 words says everything that you are looking for when you are looking for a laptop. First of all, when you're buying a laptop, you're already interested to buy light laptop, since you will need to carry it everywhere you go. And once more, since electronics are kind of investment that you invest, for example, and that you're not buying those each year, for example, especially for laptop. So you're planning to buy laptop for example, for at least 5 years, and your investment is more crucial paying that you have, that if I will pay those amount of money, will it be still on the top of all the innovation in the market after a couple of years, or it's not be suitable for me? So their promise years ahead already solving this kind of customer pain. And we came to another step, which is called brand name. So basically, to create a brand name, there's so many options, and people really enjoying to do this. Even me, I was creating brand name for my educational product program, which organized summer camps for youngsters, and it was called Leaders Incubator. The message under this kind of brand was that this program is all about the leadership, and we also invest and we create opportunities for youngsters to get those social competences and to participate in lectures and so on, to know more about their their weaknesses and strengths, and also to find a way to improve themselves. And for example, incubator, what does it mean? Is our main idea that we are sending to our customers, our future participants, that you will feel and you will grow as like little chicken in incubator. So because we create safe environment for you to show yourself, to show your weaknesses, and to find very warm place, inviting place for you to show your all the beauty that you from inside. So the message between this was, you know, kind of deep and describable, but itself leaders incubator, it's not very easy, you know, name, because easy name would be sound like this: leadership camps, for example. Because when you read the name leadership camps, you already know what it is about. It's very easy, you know, to put the name and the message through the name, brand name. And leaders incubator, well, of course, it has the, you know, the message under the name, but still it's very hard to understand. Is it the conference? Is it for grown-up people, or is for children? There's a lot of questions since you don't give an answer in the name. So of course you have to also decide how much money you're ready to invest and how much time you're ready to invest in order to deliver your message of your brand. Since if you, for example, choose first type, descriptive brand name, is very easy to send a message even just from the name. For example, it could be platform called hotels.com. Easy, you already understand that you will find in that platform the list of hotels. Or the shop called Toys for Us. Simple as it sounds, of course you will find some toys for kids in that shop. And here are different kind of types that you also could use, but you have to have in mind that to deliver message, it would be much harder for another types. Or for example, avocative. What does it mean? Well, Amazon and Apple have kind of different meaning, and before the brand took those names. Apple before iPhone was just a fruit. Amazon was, you know, the jungles before it became eShop. And then you are putting that name from different meaning. Of course, you can use the metaphor and build about your brand. And for Apple, as I remember, the main idea was to use simple, you know, subject that is so simple and understandable and so relative. And basically, iPhone, this is why they wanted to make technology more close to person, so everyone can get this and everyone can use it. And the main Apple idea is to create the product that is easy to use. So this is why they chose Apple. And then you have idea under your brand name. It's very also great way to show your values. Third type would sound inventive. Well, this is most creative way, you know, to pursue your brand, since you have to put something unique and something new and put there the meaning under the name in people's mind. For example, Google or Adidas. Well, those names doesn't mean anything before those brands was invented. And when you are creating such a brand, it's very important to know that not just you have to create a meaning or some message under the brand, but also you have to understand if people will read that brand correctly. Because even reading a new word could be quite different for kind of different target markets, or different kind of people who use different languages and so on. Also lexical, those that are using kind of different kind of words or or letters that sounds quite funny, and doesn't also usually have to have meaning, but still the sound could get the attention of people. For example, a tumble, even it's hard to say the name, or the Dunkin' Donuts also. Kind of funny meaning and funny sound. How does the brand sound? Acronymic, well, usually is this kind of type used in technology companies that also have very long names of a company, international technology solutions, or so on, and we make them shorter, just the first letters. Usually those kind of brands does not have very strong emotional attachment, since it's just 3 letters, but still you can of course invest and create some brand image as strong as BMW have. 6th type would be and could call geographical. You can be inspired by the place that your product was invented, and some even location can have some emotional attachment to your brand. For example, New York Life. Of course, it sells that all the content in that kind of magazine will be about the city, that the country, the name they are using, or American Lines. Also gives some, reputation about something big, something enormous with good, quality regulations and so on. And last but not least, you also can be inspired by a founder. You can create founder name from the scratch, or you can build and you can use famous name in order to bring your brand new value. So basically, when you will create your brand, you have to think about these 4 things. 5 things, sorry. I see first line is just a little bit put together. So first of all, you have to be original. Second, easy to write, elegant. Third, align it with company's objectives. Third, raise positive association. And last but not least, translate it in other languages. What does it mean? You have to easily have option or translate or use that name in different kind of markets, since everyone is investing, and putting their brand globally. Since we are going to e-commerce so fast, according to our situation here in the world, so think think about your brand, not just about the city or location that you're right now in, but also about the future, that maybe you will be worldwide brand, and your name also have to be that inspiration for you to be that. And here's the time to discuss about visualization. I really like this kind of part of brand identity creation, since then you have all the answers about the strengths of your brands, about the differences from competitors, idea, logo, name, and so on. Another thing, how you will send the message, is basically through visualization. It's sometimes people even don't read the the slogans and so on, but they feel emotion from your packaging, they feel emotion from the colors that you use, and this is why you need to use them very, very having in mind that it's had huge paid impact. So basically, brand is not a logo. For example, here's one brand identity, which was built on the black and green colors and dark overlays on the big background images. Now, when people got addicted to this product and fall in love with its style, the founder decided to rebrand, going more dynamic and free in the identity. So basically, you see in this slide the brand, and could you guess, or this is not a real brand, of course, but I just put the inspiration. Could you try to guess what kind of product could be used through this kind of communication, through this visualization? You know, nature, something green, sunset, woman. What a kind of product it could suit? Can you share with me? Yes? Is anybody here? So, what kind of product? Yeah, somebody is on the micro.
Can I join the discussion?
Yes, sure, please.
Okay, so in my humble opinion, I believe that usually we associate the images, the visual images which we see in the ad, and somehow we subconsciously connect those images with what possible product we are getting to obtain or to buy. So, talking about this slide, I imagine that the future product which I am going to buy might be connected with, well, its purpose is for ladies, girls, women, okay. And of course, since nature occupies a lot of visual space in the advertisement, so most probably it is ecologically friendly product. Okay, and it might be connected either with cosmetics or food production, or maybe free time. Somewhere in the countryside, in nature, such pleasant things. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for this kind of nice answer. I totally agree with you that this kind of image and emotion sense something natural, something eco-friendly. It will, as you said, or it could be related with leisure or beauty product and so on. So the emotion already got, even if you don't know the logo, the name, but you get the emotion. Here's another example, so please take a look and someone share your opinion. Well, for example, the emotion, something blue and so on, so well known in 250 cities, for example, the tagline of a brand. This brand positions themselves as reliable, modern, and elegant. They use electric blue and black colors, tech font, and detailed graphics to make their customer feel the same. So, to which kind of product or service this kind of view and brand image could suit? Can you guess?
Okay, can you join again?
Sure.
In comparison with the previous image, I believe that it is quite different. The previous one was a little bit more classical, in my opinion, and kind of vintage even, okay? And here we have a lot of graphical things and, well, more urban elegance. So most probably the product will be connected with the modern style of life, maybe traveling, okay, maybe some charts which suggest the best well-known cities in the world, and as the graphics shows, so we can guess about the suggestion that, well, the product will include not only little city, not only little towns, but also visiting maybe some major cities. So this is what I guess.
Yeah. Well, since this kind of visualization looks very technical, I could also like mention that it could be with any technical solution or startup app or something which is more, kind of technological thing which offers service or new product or innovations related. So this kind of, the emotion, it's much colder, but still it's great, the trust in this kind of structure and the colors, the tech font and graphics. And last but not least, so here's nothing a lot here, but it has been, this brand has been using the yellow frame as a main visual elements, for example, 105 years already. So what kind of emotion you get from this kind of brand? Someone? I believe you can share your opinion too.
Maybe tradition?
Sorry?
Tradition.
Yes, for sure. Something simple, not changing through years. I don't know if it looks familiar to you, but it even reminds me a magazine called National Geographics, which is, about the traditions, about something that goes through years, about not innovating something each year or changing their image, about that is stable and you can trust and build reputation about this. And finally, once more, vibrant colors, curvy sans surfing typeface, friendly iconics and smile faces, emojis everywhere. People who use their product explain this brand as fun and playful. So what kind of product or service could use this kind of visual?
Perhaps kind of brand which appeals to the millennial population and also wants to sell something innovative and associate itself with feelings of wonder, perhaps.
Yeah. Also, could add that since this kind of emotion that they sense to us is fun and playful, well, it could use in any entertainment industry, kind of, for childs or for youngsters, or like leisure kind of ways to spend your leisure. So those colors gives, that kind of good positive vibes that you're into see what this brand offers to you. So as you see, not just logo are important, much more important, all the visualization, all the pictures and which creates associations, metaphors, graphics, and so on. But still, logo is the thing that you have to also to think about very strongly about this. So you have to think about the shape of a logo, colors, because as you see, colors sense emotions, different kind of message, versatility of a logo, font type and size. Here's most famous, logos that I usually like using as an example of great brand identity equation, but also would like to show you that years by years, logos change and design kind of trends change. And many years ago, not so many, maybe 5 and so on, logos would be very characteristic, very emotional, very, something creative and so on. Right now, logos try to be simple and clear. And what is more, logo becomes much stronger than it has icon. Some visualization which creates, some visual in your mind. For example, Airbnb, of course, you use it usually from your phone, you use it from your app. So you will not even see the name of the app. You will see just icon, which also have a meaning under the icon. So as you can see, there's not, as you create your logo, it's very, right now, the main trend is to make simple, clear, and, you know, to put the color that creates, you know, emotion, but also to think about icon. Spotify also, since Spotify is already known for many years and have a very huge user base, he chose very brave way, you know, to skip and to be adaptive to any color. So mainly their logo became just the icon that you also can find in your apps. But the font is also very simple, readable, and so on. And the colors can be adapted to any kind of, you know, color palette. And this is also their choice to show that we have for everyone, because everyone will find their music in our app. So no matter what kind of genre you like, what kind of style you prefer, you will be welcome here. And if you're not don't know where to start from by building your logo, you also can use some, you know, platforms online that you can just put then, you know, brand name, slogan, and so on, and find various ways how your logo could look, and even for free. So if you will need a brand for tomorrow workshop, your logo, use logojoy.com website and create just in a couple of minutes various versions for logos. And last is packing, because packing creates a very huge important, you know, value for customer, because through the packing you can say about your product if it's premium or it's you know, mainstream, what kind of values you have, are you eco-friendly, or you don't invest in packaging, and so on. So basically packing, by thinking on the packing, you have to think about positioning, integrity, user experience, and think of how you will add value to a product. And what I have in mind by choosing different colors, choosing different, you know, textures, and so on, you send the message to target market. You can get their attention for specific kind of people by using different kind of colors or different kind of fonts, and as I said, texture and so on. You can show the real value for your brand. Of course, you can also have a little bit fun there, because sometimes people not choose a product from what is inside, but how does it look inside. For example, if you put the sauces in different kind of packaging, it could look like it could create different value for sure, and people would pay huge amount for those Slim Jims box, but those in the Slim Jim, you know, package, well, it doesn't look much more than a couple of euros value. What is more about the here Twinkies also, value looks very different, and since it's really the same inside, how you put yourself outside, it's even you can show to different kind of people and get the attention of different kind of people. And I really like this example, since even the name are the same, Dunk Rose, but still the packaging, the colors, the motion are so different that, you know, one cookies are for kids, another for people who really values real taste, eco-friendly packaging, and so on and so on. So basically, the packaging can create huge difference in your value, product value. So since I had not so much time with you to share my kind of insights, but I really would like for you to follow with this topic and find more information by yourself. And here's so many ways to find use, for example, Google Digital Garage for easy way to learn yourself how to use Google products for commercial advertising, and you can do it just for free. What is it? Also, with Facebook, you also can get some certification there, usually for free, and get the knowledge which could be useful for your brand commercial plan. And last but not least, since we are creating a lot of visualization in our daily life, not just by working with brands or businesses, but also in our school days. We create slides, we create some posters and so on. So if you don't know Canva, please check this out, because it's super easy way to create any poster, any beautiful slide or document in a beautiful way, or even to create your designs for your brand, for your future brand. So here's free platforms that I really recommend when you think about making your brand more, make your brand better. So, and what I would like to say after all our discussion today, so I really would like to say that you should work on your passion and be creative, be persistent, be brave and crazy, and start planning, analyzing, and communicating now. Don't wait when you will over your school or your university. Start doing and creating right now, and here this project is a good chance to practice yourself. So good luck. It was a pleasure to share my knowledge with you. And if you have questions, please ask them now. If not, you can write me anytime through Facebook or Instagram, and I will be happy to help you. So, any questions? Well, if it's no questions, well, thank you for your attention and have a nice project. I hope you will do some nice business ideas or project and use this kind of insight for future.
Thank you, Maria, very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Applause. Thank you.
Okay, so bye everyone.
Bye.
Shall we continue with our TED Talks?
Estonian team
Yes.
is ready if everybody agrees.
So we'll continue with Estonia.
Okay, yes. Alessia, are you ready?
Thank you, Masha.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so Alessia is a student, very active student, as other girls are. And Alessia will talk about board games and about board games as a tool for working as a tool of non-formal education, and also about the game our team developed about Old Believers for popularizing their culture, for giving the information to society about how they live through this non-formal method as a board game. So Alessia, you want to add something?
Yeah. So my name is Alessia. I'm a part of Estonia team, and almost more than 1 year ago, my team and I went to Pärnu. This is a town of Estonia near from our own town, and there we explored how to create board game, learned the structure of board games, and there was the longest brainstorm in my life, 7 hours without breaks. But so now we have result, we have our own product, and this is board game about unique, incredible culture. So now we want to present you our TED speech about culture, about all believers, and about our own board game.
Okay, let's see if I will manage second time.
Board game helped us to learn and feel the culture of all believers. During the game, we have plugged into an amazing, incredible world of fairy tales, legends, and rituals of all believers. This game is not only the way to acquire new knowledge and moving forward in the way of erudition, but also having good time learning about these wonderful people with all the futures and secrets of their lives. In the process of acquaintance with intangible culture, heritage, we learned a lot of new things. As soon as we got to Pechulia for the first time, we started discovering local traditions there. In pursuit of their religious beliefs, moving from one place to another, all believers were still able to save their identity from the nation traditions. Their special solo, non-musical nation always clean samovar at the head of table, chant plenty of handmade things like embroidery, regular attendance of worship houses, fasting. They clothes steel pursuit and old-style elements like headscarves and Russian shirt, etc. Kids and their families are very hardworking as they are thought to be so since childhood. All believers will help one to another as is a part of their culture. But the main tradition, foundation, value, call it as you like, of course, is family. Tight family, family for life. All believers are good cookers. Every granny there won't miss a chance to say something about cooking, about her mouth-watering peas, special recipes like boiled sugar by tea, omelette boiled with milk, different kinds of peas. These are recipes that live through generations, recipes that moms used to teach kids, that grandmothers used to do before, and now they follow them. These are the recipes that consist not only from ingredients, and all believers are ready to share their experience with us, visitors. We were offered to come and stay for a longer period of time and cook something under their control of professionals, not once, and we find it very sweet. They commonly do not believe in science as well as in witches, for they, of course, have their own beliefs. They have their own unique magic in their culture. They start telling us stories and we listen carefully with an open mouth. These are stories related to the connection with nature. They heal themselves with local herbs and infusions. No pills, no antibiotics. The power of prayer is real for them. In general, all believers have three main orienters in life: the God, the nature, and their own power. So, what about board games? Board games are already used in universities and schools as well as informal studying. Using games, you can easily and with joy learn many new. Get to know previous and familiar culture. Board games teach interaction, collaboration, empathy, develop memory, intelligence, and imagination. All these skills combined are very important in education and in life in general. Nowadays, gaming methods are spread in all spheres of activity. Adults play at work, kids in kindergartens and schools. Sometimes it's worth to put your phone down and spend some time playing interesting board games with friends. So back to Old Believers. We did a lot of studies, talked with people and interviewed them. Wandered every village of Prechudia, visited local museums. We got into it and realized how varied is their culture and feels like a fairy tale, immersing in their life and nature at least for a day, or an hour if we're speaking about a game. Isn't game is the best way to share our findings with others. Of course, it is not easy. It took a long time, meetings, brainstorms to create a decent product, but we didn't stop. In the beginning of 2020, we started an active development of a board game which acquaints player with the life of an old believer, firstly, of course, with their intangible culture heritage. As soon as the game has started, players immerse into the fairy tale, which we had also immersed for a period of project. Participants acquire new skills, improve teamwork and communication skills. Of course, our game is not only enlightening but also incredibly interesting. That's why it is a game. During the process, participants implement tasks focused on different types of activities. Choose the correct answer, show true or false, find extra. Our game, The Onion Way, addressed different topics: food, household, appearance, craft, beliefs, and of course, a lot of fun facts. The Onion Way is the first game about small nation of Estonia. Is it strange? Unfortunately, we often live in of our neighborhoods, cities, countries, and have no idea how amazing the world and people around you are. Don't be afraid to look outside the bounds in the bounds of our game. Our game is multi-phase and suited for any age groups when it will release and be tasted with greater amount of people. In addition, we also plan to create the same game online so that people from every point of the world could join the game.
В этом вся жизнь, девочки. Не будем двигаться, и жить спать.
Be kind. This is the most important thing. Granny Zoe, Old Believer. Thanks for your attention. Bye!
This is it. So Estonian part is finished. Thank you for listening. Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And we're moving forward to next speeches.
Dana, it's your turn.
Daivutė, vaizdo nėra pakalbėk be vaizdo.
Okay. Okay, guys, hello again. I am Daiva from Lithuanian team. And yesterday had some technical problems with sharing my view, and today the view is returning and is disappearing from time to time again. So I believe that I will say a couple of words without showing myself, you know. I have just remembered a little well saying from the world famous interview between Oprah Winfrey and Meghan Markle, where the journalist asked, "Were you silent or were you silenced?" So bad joke, but I believe that some technical disorders sometimes get us silenced or devisualized. Now, never mind. So continuing the beautiful ideas of our colleagues from Estonia, I would like to add a few more thoughts from our side. Not long ago, I have somewhere read a beautiful saying that just in one night, belief can build a church, or on the contrary, to destroy the entire city. Well, during our session of our international online project, I invite everyone to have a belief that now we all participating here, we are having a great time, a great and informative time, and we together are building our own belief to build the entire city of our communication. So to continue our presentations, I believe that you remember from yesterday's speech that our guys were talking about honey as a part of our national heritage. So the images of sweetness, well, associations with medicine and food and of course philosophy are connected with honey. Now today we are choosing quite a different topic, and it is connected with crosses. So maybe some images of wood, iron, also history and geography might appear in our minds. Why have we chosen cross and cross making as a handicraft? Discussing this topic with our students, we pointed out three major points: that a cross as such has a very deep and psychological, not only visual or material meaning in the history of our country. Of course, a cross is connected with multi-meaningful notion. A cross is used in various religions, in histories, in cultures. Then, even in science, for example, in mathematics, have you ever thought that the sign of a plus can be compared with a sign of a cross? Also in geography and urbanistic infrastructure, where a cross can be associated with a crossroad. And this is why we have chosen another topic for our presentation, cross-making as a handicraft, because it is closely connected with our national heritage as a part of the Lithuanian and also international culture. So I am inviting my colleague Rasa to show the video. Please welcome Rasita, leisk video.
How can we define the visual meaning of a cross? A cross is a geometrical figure consisting of two intersecting lines or bars, usually perpendicular to each other. The lines usually run vertically and horizontally. A cross of oblique lines in the shape of the Latin letter X is also termed as a saltire in heraldic terminology.
What does mankind's history tell us about the cross? Throughout centuries, the cross in its various shapes and forms was a symbol of various beliefs. In the pre-Christian times, it was a pagan religious symbol throughout Europe and Western Asia. In ancient times, the effigy of a man hanging on the cross was set up in the fields to protect the crops. The cross was even considered a male symbol of the phallic tree of life. Thus, it often appeared in conjunction with a female genital circle or oval to signify the sacred marriage. As an Egyptian amulet Nefer with male cross and female orb, considered as an amulet of blessedness, a charm of sexual harmony.
What does the gesture of cross symbolize? Cross shapes are made by a variety of physical gestures. Crossing the fingers on one hand is a common invocation of the symbol. The sign of the cross, associated with Christian genuflection, is made with one hand. In Eastern Orthodox tradition, the sequence is head, heart, right shoulder, left shoulder. While in Oriental Orthodox, Catholic, and Anglican tradition, the sequence is head, heart, left, right. Crossing the index finger of both hands represents a charm against evil in European folklore. Other gestures involving more than one hand include the cross my heart movement associated with making a promise and the Tao shape of the referee's timeout hand signal. In Chinese-speaking cultures, crossed index fingers represent the number 10. A cross, the principal symbol of the Christian religion, recalling the crucifixion of Jesus Christ and the redeeming benefits of his passion and death. The cross is thus a sign both of Christian himself, of the faith of Christians. In ceremonial usage, making of the sign of the cross may be according to the context an act, profession of faith, a prayer, a dedication, and a benediction.
Cross-crafting in Lithuania has historically and nationally deep roots. Lithuanian cross-crafting, Lithuanian Lietuvos kryždirbystė, is the traditional national art of crafting crosses in our country. The making of altars and crosses is an important part of Lithuanian culture. Lithuanian traditional crosses are a part of the people's Roman Catholic religion. Approximately since Lithuania became a part of the Russian Empire in the 19th century, these crosses have become a symbol of Lithuanian people. The crosses are intricately carved of oak wood and sometimes incorporate iron elements as well. Their craftsmen, known as kryždirbiai, travel across the country. The most renowned Lithuanian cross-crafter and god carver is the self-taught Vincas Svirskis, whose crosses, once seen across central Lithuania, are now kept in national museums. There are 18 crosses of the most famous Lithuanian wood carver Vincas Svirskis on display in the exposition of Kėdainiai Regional Museum. Lithuanian cross-crafting and cross symbolism were included in the UNESCO Intangible Heritage List. Vincas Svirskis is a unique self-taught folk artist of the second half of the 19th century, who traveled and created in central Lithuania. After the uprising of 1863, he began traveling from village to village and leaving his works on roadsides and homesteads. Vincas Svirskis created more than 200 crosses throughout his life. His crosses were only made from oak. The saints and ornaments were carved from the same wood. His crosses were original, monumental, decorative, and unique in their own form. Therefore, people named him the Beauty Maker. Intangible heritage of Lithuania also is considered as outstanding value to World Heritage. Cross-crafting and its symbolism as a unique cultural tradition without analogues in the world in 2001 were acknowledged as intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Very specific cross-crafting tradition and symbolism of it started to develop in the 15th century, when Lithuania, the last pagan country in Europe, officially and entirely became Catholic country. New ideas of Christianity and antique local pagans traditions for a long time were very closely related in the local people mentality. This dualism obviously was reflected in cross-crafting tradition, where can be found symbols of both religions. Later, with incorporation of Lithuania into the Orthodox Russian Empire in the 19th century or under Soviet regime in the 20th century, typical wooden Lithuanian crosses became the symbol of national and religious identity. The crosses for centuries are placed on roadsides, at the entrance of villages, or in some places extremely important, a symbolical meaning to a particular community.
Lithuanians have always been interpreting the meaning of a cross as a symbol of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Since the 15th century, Lithuanians have built crosses to honor the dead while also paying a tribute for the spirits, hoping for their grace as a token of gratitude or in search of protection and spiritual peace. These monuments are an expression of respect for religion and their nature. Lithuanian cross-crafting and cross symbolism was proclaimed by UNESCO as a masterpiece of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity in 2001. It is a masterpiece unlike anything in the world, which not only bears witnesses to living tradition, but is also distinguished by unique cultural expression. In late 2008, this tradition was inscribed on the representative list of the Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity, which claims to raise awareness of intangible cultural heritage and highlight its importance, and to promote intercultural dialogue and respect for cultural diversity.
Lithuania actually is the land of crosses. The tradition of building crosses in Lithuania came with the expansion of Christianity. However, the history of crossmaking is also linked to various prohibitions. After the uprising in 1863, erecting and repairing crosses in unholy places, in example cemeteries or churchyards, was prohibited by order of the Tsar. And the Soviet occupation nearly destroyed the evolution of cross-crafting. Not only it was forbidden to build new crosses, but the majority of the ones that had already been erected were destroyed as well. Yet even during the occupation, cross-crafting survived in secret, and these monuments became a symbol of national identity and resistance. During the restoration of independence, some of the old crosses were restored, and new ones were erected in memory of the exiles and the partisans. In cemeteries, wooden memorials are increasingly being replaced by headstones. Folk monument ensembles are still being developed, with themes ranging from Christian to pagan or secular. The northern region of Lithuania is situated near one of the major towns of the country. Šiauliai is famous for the Hill of Crosses, which holds a large collection of crosses of various sizes. One of the most impressive places in Lithuania where your eyes can feast on thousands of crosses of various sizes and shapes is the Hill of Crosses, the representation of unshakable faith and a symbol of resistance against occupation. If you want to see some examples, you don't need to go wandering around in the small Lithuanian villages though. There is a special place in Lithuania dedicated to crosses, the Hill of Crosses. It is located in the north of Lithuania, not too far from the fourth biggest town in the country, Šiauliai. It's not much of a hill, really, but the place has a significant number of crosses. Once it was counted to be 200,000 of them, but up to this day people are adding new ones. You can add too. The Hill of Crosses was the first time mentioned in the 19th century. It started being populated with crosses after the rebellion against Russian Empire in 1831. Many people were killed and their loved ones began to bring crosses to this particular hill in their honor and memory. Even after being destroyed multiple times by the Soviets, it was reborn soon after because people never stopped having hope and kept adding new crosses. Nowadays, the Hill of Crosses is considered to be a monument of belief by a Catholic Church. It is one of the most unique places in Lithuania, attracting people of all religions and beliefs from all around the world. Pilgrims, people with prayers and requests, artists and handicraftsmen have erected crosses here since the 19th century and are still doing so till this day. The unique Hill of Crosses, which has been destroyed 3 times during the harshest of Soviet years but rebuilt each time, is now reminiscent of the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem in terms of its aura.
Crosses, as a significant part of Lithuanian national heritage, should definitely be preserved and passed to the future generations. There are now special schools for cross-crafting, so carving is learned from other artisans and experience is gained by working independently, mastering the heritage traditions at seminars and creative camps. The craft, which survived the occupation period when crossmaking was prohibited and crosses were destroyed, is now coming to life. The Hill of Crosses, as a spontaneous assemblage of crosses that has been destroyed several times over the last century, is flourishing as much as ever. As if they were echoes, other smaller hills have emerged where people erect crosses either on their own or as communities. When it comes to preserving cross monuments, it is usually the old crosses, shrines and wayside shrines which have survived to this day that people have in mind. They need to protect it not only from the elements but also from theft. They have protected from the weather throughout constant supervision, repeating and restoring them, and building exact copies so that they can be erected at the original location, while the originals are protected by moving them to an indoor museum. The Convention for Safeguarding of the Intangible Cultural Heritage obligates the member states is to encourage communities to protect intangible cultural heritage and pass it on to the future generations. Every time I hold a little cross in the hand, I think not only about its long and dramatically painted road through the mankind's and Lithuanian history. I personally add one more meaning to a cross. It is like a symbolic crossroad inviting us, people of various nations, to choose which road we should turn. Should we remain in the middle of the crossroad with our own dramas and doubts? Should we emphasize the most painful pages of our nation history, or should we choose another road, the one leading us to a more emphatic, understanding and positively educated world? I would personally like to invite everyone to choose, namely, this direction of the road. Let the cross as a symbol remain a sign of a hope for the better, but not a sign to new conflicts in the new world.
Okay,
Thank you.
Let's move on. Mhm. Let's move on to the Slovenian team. Again, the students will just say a few words, and then Anna will present the video. Go on, girls.
So our next presenter is Dasha. She, like most of us, was always disappointed in shops for having only single-use plastic bags available for fruits, vegetables, and other products. That's why she decided to try to include a special kind of wax paper to take these fruits and vegetables in.
Here's a fun fact for you. On the 31st of August in 2020, England decided to put a 10-pence charge on single-use plastic bags. Given that we all have a drawer full of plastic bags at home, we could all be millionaires. But the more you think about it, the more of a problem this becomes. Sure, you can't buy plastic bags at the register anymore, but there's a ton of food still wrapped in plastic. And in the fresh produce section, there's always some vegetables or some fruit that you have to put in a plastic bag to buy. The other day, when I went to the store, I bought 3 pears wrapped in a ridiculously long piece of plastic. I thought to myself, is this necessary? Probably not. But oh well, what can we do about it? Well, maybe we can do something. First, I thought about the process of grocery shopping. You come to a store, maybe with a shopping list in mind, so you don't buy everything in sight. And you come to the produce section, all healthy oriented, and pick up an apple. But maybe you want to share these apples with your family, or you just like apples, so you don't pick up 1, but 5. But where to put them now, so they're not rolling around in your shopping cart and you can weigh them? Well, you see the plastic bags next to the apples. And you think to yourself, just for a moment, isn't this stupid? But what can you do about it? So you put the apples in the plastic bag, pay, and leave. Now I want you to think about your mood while shopping. You come to the store and your mood goes up to the point when you pick a product up, but goes down when you put it in an unnecessary piece of plastic. And in the end, your mood hasn't changed much, has it? You're no happier leaving the store than when you entered it. Now imagine having an alternative to the plastic bag. You come to the store, pick a product up, wrap it in the alternative, pay and leave a happy customer. So why don't we shop like this? Why haven't we changed the way we shop? We're not here to answer that question. We're here to find a solution to the problem. This is my solution. A linen beeswax food wrap. It has beeswax on it to make it waterproof, and you can wrap your produce in it as you would with a plastic bag. But instead, you don't have to worry about adding another piece to your plastic bag collection. It protects your produce, it's sturdy and all natural. And the best thing is, it's reusable. You don't get home and put it in the bin straight away because it tore when you were carrying it. Imagine coming to the store and being able to buy this instead of a plastic bag. I'm not here to convince you that this is a good idea. You already know that it's better than what we have now. I'm here to tell you that together we can make this possible. Like gin and tonic, we're better together. But Dasha, where do you have the resources and knowledge to make this happen? The answer is in Bela Krajina. While researching for the intangible cultural heritage of Bela Krajina, we met a lot of people. However, what we didn't realize at that time was that these people are not only keeping our history alive, but can, with the same help we got from Podjetnički Inkubator, help Bela Krajina build its future. People like Mrs. Margita Adamic and Mr. Branko Pavlin are being somewhat set aside when considering how to develop Bela Krajina. Imagine what we could do with the mentality of not only reusing old school books and clothes, as we already do, but reusing old customs and ideas we have almost forgotten about. We always talk about learning from our history, but imagine if we actually did. By buying in bulk and making compromises with local craftsmen, we could significantly cut down the price of the material. Now we have the material, but where is the workforce needed to make this product? The answer is in Bela Krajina's people. Bela Krajina's current unemployment rate is 12.7%, or in numbers, over 1,500 people without a job, meaning over 1,500 potential employees. By building a processing plant in Bela Krajina, we would not only cut down the cost of transport, but also boost Bela Krajina's employment rates. Our first target would be Chernomyr's Saturday market, and from there on, possibilities are endless. First, we would make people interested, and what is more important, there will be interest to show this product in the supermarkets. With the help of our local community, investors, and social media advertising, we could create a strong brand that will change the way people shop for the better. In the end, I want to emphasize, the idea of linen beeswax wraps is not original. Neither is the idea to remove plastic from supermarkets. But a great idea isn't one that is original, but one that is put into action. What is original are Bela Krajina's resources and talented people who can take many problems in their hands and make one solution to all of them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marta.
Let my students turn on their cameras and say a few words, and then we'll move on with the video. It's Lukas, Elena, and Panayota.
Hello everyone, I'm Lukas.
Hello, I'm Elena.
Hello everybody, I'm Panayota.
So we're students of the first senior high school of Levadia, and we're going to present you our idea of an application called RACT. First of all, I have to say that this program gave us the opportunity to get in touch with intangible cultural heritage, a part of our lives which is in jeopardy. Living in a high-speed society and stressed by overworking, we lack of free time, and thus we forget our cultural roots and our ancestors. During this difficult period, the Erasmus program comes to reunite us with our culture and make us get together with other culturally wealthy countries. Me and my team, Elena and Panayota, created RACT, which means Religious Alternative Cultural Tourism. RACT is an app on which you can find a trip in which you follow a route through Greece and discover nature, Byzantine art, and Byzantine music at monasteries, churches, villages, and towns. In the app, we inform you about the trip, and we offer you propositions of events, lectures, propositions of workshops about the Byzantine iconography, or the chance to participate in making frescoes
in monasteries with scenes based on the lives and martyrdoms of saints with the help of hagiographies. You can either see book
Sorry,
a
we
seat.
can't see you, Luca. Is your camera on?
Yes.
Now you see.
Now?
Yes, okay.
Okay. So you can either book a seat for the trip or you can explore the places we have included in our trip on your own.
I lost you again, Luca.
That's okay. Explaining our logo, the top is a black cross, which stands for the word religious tourism. The main body contains a red note for Byzantine music and art, and the bottom is a route which stands for the cultural road that our travelers follow with the aid of our app. Although there are a lot of app ideas which include the cultural road, our app stands out because it provides low-cost, eco-friendly, and short-time travels which ensure mental peacefulness, relaxation, and intoxication.
Following the steps of Gregory Nazianzenos and Luke the Evangelist, you automatically travel in the Byzantine times, crossing by breathtaking sceneries and places you should keep an eye on nature miracles. When you reach our destination by the Byzantine towns, monastery of Greece's Orthodox religious feeling. You can simply listen or join the choir. Our customer segment, which include all kinds of people who love tranquil sceneries, photography, and culture, can find us in social media, YouTube, newspaper, travel agencies, musical site, travel magazines, and also TV programs. Our real goal is to keep our customers satisfied with real user feedback to improve our app. By using comments, surveys, and interviews, we get qualitative data with which we fight for our intangible cultural heritage, expansion dissemination, and for our sustainability.
In the foreseeable future, we are planning collaboration with travel agencies, addition of audiovisual material in RAC, and an app's special edition for disabled people who are constantly being forgotten.
Closing our speech, I would like to point out that I'm really glad about the chance we had to participate in the Erasmus Plus Cliché program, create an app, and theoretically become real entrepreneurs. Remembering the time when Steve Jobs created his first company, I would like to share with you something that he had said. He told that the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. As the result, the values that the Erasmus program promotes, such as collaboration, cooperation, and creativity, are the most important skills that everyone would like to develop and have. Thank you so much for your attention, and we hope you like our attempt.
Thank you, guys. Can you hear? No?
Yes, we can see
Play
the video.
Can you hear?
No.
You don't have to start the video.
Sorry, Green. Δεν καλά το θέμα. Does the video have sound?
Yeah, it has.
No, we can't hear you.
You can hear. Okay.
It's okay now.
okay now?
Yes, it is.
Yes, yes. Hello, we are students of the first high school of Levandia, Greece, and during the actualization of the Erasmus Plastic program, we created our lab brand, which means religious, alternative, cultural, tourism, in order to contribute to the preservation to our intangible cultural heritage. Our art presents a magical and unforgettable cultural route which follows the steps of Gregory Nazianzen and Ludwig Evangelism. In art, you can find your favorite trip in Greece and make it real by booking a seat for a trip and explore Greece's significant and religious, intangible cultural heritage. Our art is travel, brand, and preserved.
The idea of flag came up when we realized that the first basis of flag and the recording deprived us of our free time, knowledge, and contact with nature and culture in our scavenger hunt for education. So, what is the solution we offer? We provide a cultural route follow alternative religious and cultural tourists who are from visiting Orthodox Christian churches, which include mosaics, iconographies, and live Byzantine music. We offer propositions of lectures, conventions, and events based on our cultural heritage. Our team is composed of talented, culturally aware, and hardworking students, deeply occupied with the intangible cultural heritage preservation and expansion. RAP is a unique idea because it provides low-cost, eco-friendly, and alternative trips as an excellently designed app. We have nothing to fear about competition, because if you are working on something exciting that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pushed, as it is outside. Thank you for your attention and keep on dreaming.
In order to contribute to the preservation, a curious prize presents a magical and unforgettable cultural route. Some cultural.
If not, trips on an eccentric,